without your enemies, talking random, without your enemies, talking random. 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 Without your enemies, talking random.
Is this the barbershop? This is the barbershop. I mean, we can't talk street in the barbershop. Then where can we talk street? We can't talk street nowhere else. You know, this ain't nothing but healthy conversation.
Greetings. Good afternoon, good evening. It's a pretty miserable day, a pretty miserable evening. You don't want to turn that off?
Sorry, I'm bad.
Oh, okay. And that's how the night started.
I'm still grieving.
Because we all grieving right now.
Summer moon.
Hey, I guess y'all have heard by now that the Georgia Bulldogs lost to Notre Dame. So we all hurt, feelings hurt. But y'all know we still here to do what we do. We are in the barbershop talking randomish. And this in barbershop, there is no taboo. No conversation is taboo. We ain't got but one rule and one rule only. That is, say what you mean what you say, just don't be mean when you say it. Y'all, we are right now live on Facebook on the Talking Random-ish page. I will share it so everybody can see it in a minute. We got, first of all, I want to thank MEU Radio Athens for allowing us to be in this space, to come to you, to talk about these things, to get this information out. I also want to thank Wing King. Y'all know Big Cuz, what he doing, what he got going on. In fact, the reason you don't see him or hear him now is that he is doing something right now to start off the new year. He just reopened up his place in Wadden, and we gonna get him in here and sometime let him tell you what's going on. We also brought to you by Quinn Visual Impact for all your party needs. She got the blow ups for the kids. Once again, I say for the kids.
Bouncy houses.
Bouncy houses, you know, all that good fun stuff. If you need it, she got it. But I am your boy, the master barber himself, Mr. Rick Kane. We got my guy in Chair 1, Scapping, doing what he do best. What's good with you, my boy?
I'm good. Just ready to get over this grief.
Yeah,
this conversation we had, like, you know, get me past.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna get you past, but we gonna talk about some things. You know, we just gonna do what we do. We got Mr. Peak Season himself back in the building with us. What's good with you, boy?
What's happening, y'all? I'm good. Just in a little summer mood, but I'm all right.
Okay, well, I mean, I think we all a little something right now.
Yeah.
Well, let me see if I can get us a better mood in here.
You should invite a pastor too.
My cousin's gonna kill me. Don't tell her I did that. But y'all know what it is. A new year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. We do have a new family member in the building. She is here to start off our January series called New Year's Resolution. And it's gonna be a 4-part series. Tonight is gonna be women's health. Next week is gonna be men's health. We gonna not gonna take a week off from the show, but we gonna talk about playoffs that third week. The fourth week we gonna come back and talk about finances, and then we gonna end up January talking about traveling. Because since I've been living, these are all the things that we talk about when we talk about New Year's resolutions. And I have been criticized saying that I don't talk about the women's side of things. And so that's why I wanted to start off the first conversation of the year talking about women's health. So that's why we have our guest who's in the building. First of all, I need to apologize to her. As long as I've been knowing her, I ain't never know how to spell her name. And I misspelled her name on the flyer. So I owe you an apology. Please accept my apology. Well, since we talking about you, who are you and why are you in my barbershop?
Well, my name is Ragonda Menefield. Some people know me as G. I work in public health research. I also am a national certified fitness instructor, and I own my own fitness company, Body by G. So that's why I'm here. Talk about women's health and all fitness, for that matter.
All right. Well, I mean, let's get to it. And every year, like I say, around the first of the year, everybody got New Year's resolutions. Getting in shape, losing weight, being able to put that swimsuit, them bikinis, being able to take that t-shirt off is one of the biggest of the resolutions that I have seen, heard since I've been, I guess, old enough to play the game. I myself don't particularly do resolutions because I heard a statistic say by the second week, that's done. We don't forgot about it and went on back to normal. So what I tried to do is I tried to start before the new year started. I tried to get out there and get some in. Because I definitely need to lose some weight. So, but we see this all the time, and like I say, one of the number one things. And first of all, I guess we need to throw out some RIPs in order. This past week, we lost probably the first black guy I ever seen doing sports on TV, Greg Gumbel. We lost him. Definitely need to send prayers and love to the casualties of the New Orleans terrorist attack. Because the reason why the game was played tonight was because yesterday in New Orleans, a terrorist basically took his truck and drove down Bourbon Street and ended up killing, I think, 15 people and injured over 30-some people. So that's why they postponed the game to the 4 and we prolonged that loss. So we definitely want to give condolences and prayers to their family, friends, loved ones, and anybody that's down there that they had to go through that and deal with that. And politicians, and they ain't talking about the ones that are voted in house. I'm talking about the armchair politicians. Stay out of this. Stay out. Please stay out of it. this has nothing to do with who's in office, who was in office, who shall be in office. This happens because there's a lot of countries out there that don't like America. Point blank period. I don't care who's in office. And America has been bullies. They have been rapists. They have been thieves. And a lot of folks get tired of it. So, and they taking any chance that they can get to show you they ain't scared of us. So that has nothing to do with who's in office, but it has something and everything to do with America. In some ways, we need to change a lot of things, the way we do, the way we handle people, the way we address people. But that's neither here nor there. But I definitely want to, like I say, give out my condolences, give out my prayers, give out my love to those people that's having, those family members, those friends, those loved ones that lost someone to that. And hopefully we can rectify the problems that we have. But as you see, my boy L is not in the building. He's under the weather. We were supposed to have another guest, a couple of the guests that were supposed to be in the building. Family, Tamika, the therapist, was supposed to be here. She's under the weather, and we also were supposed to have Keisha, Lakeisha Bowden. She was also supposed to be in the building, but once again, y'all know how it is. The first of the year, the New Year flu it's out there and it's real. So please, if you ain't, this ain't no infomercial, but get your vitamins in, man. You got to get that immune system up and right, because everything attacks your immune system. So me and wifey found out the hard way last year around this time. We woke up last Christmas and we were flued out.
I remember that.
And so I think I got up once I was well and started popping vitamins then. So I'm definitely in my vitamins, on my vitamins, but we got to you have to take care of yourself. And that leads to tonight's conversation. Women's health. And like I say, next week we're gonna have men in here. We're gonna talk about the men's side of the health. But we know, and hopefully let's have a grown folk conversation because I think everybody in this room is either close to 50. I know I'm 52, and 52. I say a month before I turned 52, things just started going south. I was doing good, though. I was doing good. 51 in 11 months. Was pretty healthy, but boy, that last one of 51, things start hurting. And I'm like, you have your aches and pains. Once you get a certain age, your body and everything don't work like it used to, but man. So that's why I say it's not a resolution for me. I have to lose weight because I know, and if you seen me before the holiday, you see me now, it don't look like I've been trying, because I have been trying, because I knew I was going to get to it. It was going to be some holiday food being eaten, and I was going to partake. But I am going to do better because I have to. Because if y'all know my wife and y'all see my wife, she's a picture of fineness. Right. And I got to be able to compete, I'm going to look at me and say, what you doing with that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do what I got to do, but I know there's a lot of women that are tearing the gym up these last few days. My first question to you, Ragonda, is these 2 weeks that they're going to be tearing the gym up and don't go back after, and they got these memberships and they just paying on them for the next 2 years, and they ain't going to use the gym but 3 more times after that. What is that doing for them?
Well, it's doing that then, and I kind of want to go back to what you said about resolutions
Okay,
before we
let's
dive
get
into
it.
that question, because I definitely want us to have a great conversation, and
Yes, ma'am.
hopefully people leave here with some great tips and understanding. A resolution means you just resolve, and there could be no resolve. But a goal is obtainable. So what we should have are goals.
Okay.
And
So we
then
should have
once-
New Year goals.
And I'm not even going to
Life
say New Year
goals.
life goals.
Okay.
I think part of the problem, whether you're a man or a woman, is that we set these timetables when it needs to be a lifestyle change. So then what happens is when you don't see anything changing quickly, like a microwave, you stop. But if you had goals and obtainable goals, you would see these various changes. So I do want to lead with that. Okay. Secondly, what I always say to people is, it's mind, body, and spirit. They all work together. When we come into the gym, or if we're trying to make these lifestyle changes, we also got to start self-reflecting. Why am I eating the things I eat? Why am I not working out? And what are the reasons I want to do it? If it's not for yourself, you're not going to last regardless. If you're trying to lose weight for this woman, this man, it's temporary. It has to be for you. What do you want to feel? I tell people when they come to the gym, because I can look at your body type and I can tell what you've been eating and what kind of workout you need to do. But it takes commitment. I think now we're in this microwave thing. Everybody looks on Instagram. They want these different body types. And sadly enough, some people are dying for those body types.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, anyone out there, I have nothing against anything that helps you, whether it's surgery, whether it's you're taking a pt1. But what I am for is education, because you can get on these things, and if you still don't have knowledge, when you come off, all that weight is going to come back. So I'm going to say again, it is mind, spirit, and body. They all have to connect together. You should sit down and tell yourself, okay, I may not can move but 15 minutes today. Tomorrow add on 5 minutes and 5 minutes and 5 minutes, and pretty soon you're at 45 minutes. Obtainable nutrition, okay? I'm not going to just change overnight all my eating habits. But for this week, I want to add an extra water in there. Next week, I'm going to push back from potato chips. Those little changes will begin to add up and change your lifestyle. Because we got to make lifestyle changes, because it's 8% nutrition. I want to see people win. And you also got to be able to take constructive criticism with that win. So when you come into one of my classes, or if you're one of my clients or in boot camp, I am very straightforward. I'm empowering to you, but I am going to tell you, you need to amp up this weight, you need to do this, because that's what we need. We need to be pushed to the next level. Different ages, we all work out the same. They're going to obtain different goals. Nutrition is also different for every age. My girl's over 40. I'm going to say it again. My girl's over 40. You have to cut your sugar. You really do. True testimony, I don't mind being transparent. I actually just had a hysterectomy back in May. One of the best decisions I ever made. Okay? Before I turned 50, I went on a mission to lose about 20 pounds because I knew I was going to have the surgery. That 20 turned into about 30. And the way I did it was I did research. Typically between the ages of 35 on up, women begin to go in perimenopause. In perimenopause, whether your blood sugar states it, I want to say it again, whether your blood sugar states it, you are insulin resistant because your hormones are activated and the estrogen is dropping. So you see these women, you know how they go through menopause and get the pooches and, oh, I'm gaining weight. It is because they're resistant to the sugar and the hormones. So if we get ahead of that, in that 35 range and 40 over when we're dealing with it, and start pushing back from the sugar and reducing it, we can combat those inflammations and all the weight gain, and you can lose weight. So there's no excuse of, oh, I'm just in menopause, I've gained weight. No, you can lose it. You just have to have an action plan in place.
I was at Larry's house about a month ago. Pulled out the old video.
Oh God, here we go. Deep South.
When did you decide you was gonna make this lifestyle change?
So for me, just history, all throughout high school, I was always small. Small. Went to college. I didn't gain freshman 15. I gained freshman 200.
Ooh.
And I'm being very serious about that when I say that. I literally had 2 people on me. And it was because I felt like when I studied, I had to eat. And I'm not talking about potato chips. I was at Subway late at night getting subs. If we gotta keep it real, I want to keep it real. And let's be real, and the drinking. Because I had a great time in college. I don't know about y'all, but I had a blast.
Well, I didn't finish because
But still had a great time.
Because I had a great time.
That blast showed on my body.
Yes.
When I would come home, people wouldn't even recognize me. And I think one day, sorry, my headphones are slipping because of this hair. One day, I think it was probably about my junior year, I was just tired of being tired. And I probably was at about 375 pounds.
Wow.
True T.
Wow.
I went to college at weighing about, I'd probably say maybe 125, 150 at most. I promise you, by my junior year, I was 375.
Wow.
Seriously. And I just said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. It wasn't what people said, because people can pick on you. That's not going to change anything. But I always had self-confidence. So it never bothered me necessarily about the weight. It didn't bother my esteem. But it did bother me that I wasn't physical as I used to be. And so I went on a mission. I scrambled up some change, joined the local gym, and since then went on a mission, changed my eating habits, and I've done so for years. At the most, here and there, I've gained about 80 here and there and back, but I will always get it back off. I believe it's a lifestyle. So I feel that I can help people because I've been there. I think a lot of people like to train people for somewhere they're not been.
Yes.
Well, you can't tell me where to go if you haven't been from it.
Absolutely.
But I've been there. So I've been small, I've been, big, and I've lost. So I really want to help not just women, but everyone achieve those goals, but realistic goals as well. So yeah.
Okay. So if someone, because you said you are a fitness instructor, and please, before we leave, I want you to re-shout out your business. But if someone comes to you Monday, because some folks didn't go back to work and they still on their celebration off, and so they're gonna come back and they're gonna walk to you on Monday. What's the first thing you do with that person?
For me, because most of the time they're coming into my classes, so there's 2 different things here. So I teach at Crunch Fitness, shout out to Crunch, where I'm very known for my spin classes and the weightlifting classes. But like I said, I also own my own fitness company, Body by G Fitness, where I do boot camps online, but they're mostly group. And if you ever go on Hawthorne or Sunset, I teach outdoor boot camps on Mondays at Bishop Park. They're like pop-ups. Yeah. Right now we're not doing it in the winter. Mainly when I talk to people, because I try to talk to everybody at the gym, whether they take my class or not, because again, I don't like people to waste their time. Mm-hmm. But if you're in a class with me, the first thing I say, and anybody on Facebook now who is watching will say the same thing: my name is Ragonda. I'm going to correct your form because I want you to make your goals. Don't be offended. So I'm going to correct you as I'm teaching you. If you're squatting and it's not in the proper form, or if you don't have enough weight, if you're doing tricep extensions in the form, I'm going to correct you, because why am I going to let you keep doing something that's a waste of your time? Come on, y'all taking a class and you've left there like, oh, this wasn't it.
Right.
It wasn't that the class wasn't anything. It was the form that was off, and nobody took the time to say, hey, I need you to do this. I can even watch somebody if they have a shoulder injury and still teach everyone else, but give that person an alternative. Everybody in the class should be impacted. There's no such thing as advanced, beginner. There is everybody getting a job done. So I also tell people, summer bodies
Starting in winter.
are built now. I'm gonna say it again. Summer bodies are built now.
That's for men and women, right?
Men and women. Listen, I don't care what you are. He, they, she, whatever.
Right.
Summer bodies are built now. Spring bodies, that was back in the fall.
Missed out.
So we late.
But hear me, that is not a discouragement.
Yes.
You gotta start, okay?
Right.
But what I don't, it goes back to what I just said earlier about these resolutions and these microwave things we want to do. You know how many people will join this gym now? Because everybody trying to get ready for spring break. And we talking about, and I'm just giving sizes, guys. We talking about a girl who want to go from a 16 but want to be in an 8 for spring. No, not gonna, one, it's not healthy. Okay, how you lose it is how you gain it, and we can take that in fitness and in life.
Yes.
However you get something is how you will lose it the same way. Summer bodies are built now.
Right.
Okay? But fitness is not just about a weight, guys. It's how we get impacted by things. So for instance, just because you're losing the weight and you get healthy, you still can have blood pressure issues. I want to be very real. Still can have sugar. But what will happen because you're in shape is those things are how they'll impact you. You understand what I'm saying? So just like with COVID, healthier people that got COVID did well. Unhealthy people didn't. So I think we sometimes get confused of, well, why I'm doing all this and I got this. It's so it won't impact you in such a negative way. I hope that makes sense.
It does.
It does.
But I got a question for you. I think like every year, you know, everybody has a goal, and working out is a goal. But do you recommend, like, especially for beginners, do you start out slow and then kind of work your way up to, you know, a nice system? Because I think what happens a lot of times, I think that people go so hard in the gym out, just come off the street, you know, per se.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot.
I've heard-
And they fall back for it. So do you recommend that, and when you trying to do a regimen, when you trying to do a lifestyle change, it's just like, it's baby steps, you know, and that's probably some of the things that you do at your personal gym, but just for people listening who probably won't sign up for Crunch, but can go out and do some working out, whether it's walking or jogging.
Yeah.
Or
That's a good question. Here's what I say to this. Just start moving. That's the first thing I want everyone to do. I don't care if you have a gym membership, at home, if you like to dance, just move. That's our first thing, mobility, that we want to do. I will say, I agree. I think sometimes when people first get into fitness, well, I'm going to take 2 classes a day, I'm going to run twice a day, and then by week 2, they're burnt out. They're burnt out from several things. Their muscles are hurting, they've got some injuries because they haven't done proper stretching, but they're also burnt out because they still, once again, haven't seen results because they thought going fast. What I say is, start getting in the gym, work your way up. Let me give this science. To lose weight, you gotta work out more than 4 days. 3 days maintains. 4 or more loses. So I'm gonna say it again.
Okay.
4 and more, you lose.
Okay.
3, you just maintain.
Okay.
Okay? So I say that to say, start moving every day, first of all. Once we start moving, let's make a goal that next week. I need to start lifting weights. Well, let me start lifting weights twice a week. Then you build that up and start adding on things. You start adding on your cardio. If you were coming to my spin class, I would say, hey, start off with just taking my spin once a week. Get on the treadmill the next day. Get on the elliptical, maybe go do a hit. I believe your workouts should vary because you're going to get bored. If you do the same thing every day, you're going to get tired of it and you're going to get burnt out. Versus if you did spin, you did a boot camp, you did your weights, you got some variety and it gives you time to look forward. Even with your weightlifting, men and women, because I love lifting weights. My people at the gym will tell you, as soon as I get through teaching, I lift. Before my 5 a.m. spin class, I lift weights before I teach spin.
Right.
So have a good split. Have a good split of your legs, your biceps. All that stuff you can research, and YouTube has so much
Right.
free information. So to me, it's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much information out there. Just start moving now.
I got a question. For me, I think it's more of a lifestyle change that I need to make. First of all, because of my the job that I have, I leave early, get home late, and I do think about on the health side. I know me and Lee talk about it, me and Rick talk about it, but I got a gym downstairs that I rarely use. Because I'm being dead serious. I mean, I rarely use it, and I guess it's because more of my lifestyle, like my job. I get home late, you know, I get up early. What are some of the things or tips that you can give me to kind of like, you know,
So what I
try to
would
get
say
me
to
started?
you, on your job, do you walk a lot or live?
Almost definitely.
Very physical.
Okay. So you're probably getting a little bit of your cardiovascular in. I think you kind of need to make a decision of, hey, can I get up a little earlier and go ahead and go downstairs? And even if it's only 20 minutes, I promise you,
Right.
if you do a HIIT workout for 20 minutes, meaning high intensity, meaning you want your heart rate to go up and down.
A good point.
Okay.
Because I think
Man, I'm telling you,
Okay.
HIIT versus
Yeah.
stationary cardio. And let me give you an example. Someone who gets on the treadmill and just walks at 3.0 for 20 minutes, they may get 200 calories. Somebody that does a HIIT 25 to 30 minutes, where it's just like this, could burn 600 calories. 20 minutes.
Okay.
20 minutes, you could do high knees downstairs, stop for 30 seconds, grab your weight, do a bicep, back to high knees, back to a bicep, to a squat. You see what I'm saying? Up, down, and go to work. And you will feel a difference when you go to work. Your energy actually would be up. I would suggest you do it in the morning versus when your body is fatigued in the evening, which will result in injuries.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And then I also challenge you, I don't know what you do, maybe do it on your lunch break. And it doesn't have to be at home.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big misconceptions, like I was trying to talk about earlier, that people think that you got to go into a gym and work for hours.
No,
Okay. So you can really get it in about 30 minutes.
30
every day.
minutes. But it's what you do in
Right.
30 minutes.
Exactly.
So I definitely suggest people who are on stricter times to do boot camps, because that's going to be your best HIIT workouts. Boot camps, spin, any kind of barbell class that's going to, all those classes are meant to be HIIT, to keep you up and down on your heart rate.
Right.
Versus, again, and people who love the treadmill, I'm not dogging you out, but even on the treadmill, make the treadmill hit. How do you make it hit? Well, I get on there, I walk the first 2 minutes on a warm-up of an incline of 4. But then I shoot it up for a minute on an incline of 5 and maybe light jog. Bring it back down to 3, go to 3. See what I'm doing? Different speeds, different incline, makes it a HIIT workout. Versus me constantly doing this. So let me give you math. If I just do this, do I change? But if I do this, there's change.
So
And that's how you have to approach your fitness.
What is HIIT?
High intensity
High
interval
intensity.
training.
Yeah, like on the treadmill, what she's saying, like when I at Planet Fitness, the first time I got on the treadmill, I was what she's talking about was flat. Then I started raising the incline. I went all the way up to 15.
Exactly.
And it's a different workout.
It is.
Completely. And did that for about 15 minutes. It's like you're trying to catch the treadmill. You want to fall off. So it's going to make you work.
And it's also going to burn your legs,
Yep.
but it's also going to impact your core.
Right.
Yeah.
You never have to get on the floor to work abs, guys. Again, all my class members who are listening are going to hear me say, and spin, we don't have to get on the floor to work our abs. When we lift weights, we work our abs.
Right.
If you pull your abs in as you're working, it brings the tissue back in, because that's the goal. Most of the time doing crunches, just gotta be honest, guys, for all those out there doing those 1,000 crunches on top of your fat, you're just making the fat push out.
Oh wow.
Say it again. If you're doing 1,000 crunches on top of abdominal fat, all you're doing is pushing the fat out. We gotta burn that fat off. And then we need to lean it.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense. That's why some bodybuilders you see,
Exactly.
they look cut up, but they got a big stomach, you know.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because they all have cut season and bulk season, and in their bulking, all that abdominal fat comes on top.
Okay, see, I guess now, at one time in my life, I was doing 500 push-ups a day.
When?
Well, I did.
When?
When I was working for AT&T.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing 500 push-ups a day.
But he probably right. He got big neck.
And
Shoulders. He does. Rick got a big neck.
He's
Russell,
broad.
man. Rick right here. You can tell that.
But
But for the push-ups.
but I noticed that. But during that time, I wasn't doing any ab work.
Mm-hmm.
But my abs, surprisingly, I would just, you get out the shower next. Well, look at that. I had a 3.5 pack.
A 3.5.
3.5. You know that other one he wouldn't come.
Okay.
But
What year we talking about?
Huh?
What year we talking about?
Whenever I went to AT&T, right before I went to AT&T, it was a whole bunch of years ago. But
Said 3.5 back.
yeah. So, but I was loaded, and then I got a homeboy that's in the gym, and he was like, because when I started doing, when I do my push-ups, I make sure I hold in a lot my core. So he was like, if that is working your abs.
It's called a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if y'all watch fitness competitions and stuff. So you know how you'll see, even on Instagram, you'll see some of the people that are training. They'll be in that bathroom and you'll see them doing this, like they're pulling in their stomach, looking like a vacuum. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's all they're doing. They're taking the connective tissues, pulling it. It's like doing a standing plank. Bottom line, guys, that's what it is. A vacuum is a standing plank. Planks pull the abdominal muscles back in, because we got to get those back in, plus reduce the fat. Because again, if you don't pull them back in and you still got the fat, when we're doing this crunch, it just pushes it out.
Right.
So abs are worked differently than other muscles. So usually with bicep, legs, all that, you want to put on all this muscle to burn fat, right? Abs, you don't want to put on the muscle to burn fat because they're gonna pop it out. What we want to do is burn it and lean it. We want to make the core strong, because the stronger the core becomes, it'll find its way back on its own. You don't need to do 30 minutes of abs. I'm gonna say it again. There is no need to do 30 minutes of abs. Now, if you want to take some classes, I strongly believe in Pilates. I actually started taking it before my surgery. Best thing I ever did. It helped with, again, for my ladies over 40, help with your pelvic floor and stuff.
Right.
But that's different. That's not crunching. That's back to what I said. Pilates is strengthening and lengthening the muscle. One of the greatest things that we can be out here doing. I teach TRX. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's with the suspension bands. So I'm happy to say, and I'm sorry I keep doing all this shameless plugs. Sorry, not sorry. We're bringing that back to the gym. And so in my TRX, not only do we do full body, but at the end, we do Pilates in the bands. Men should be doing TRX. All I ever have are women in the class. Every now and then I'll get men should be doing TRX. We all want good lean muscle. Everybody does not want to look like Hulk Hogan, and shouldn't. Okay? Because again, if you're not going to keep up that capacity of the muscle and you start eating, that fat on top of that muscle does what? What did we just say about abs?
Push it up.
So that's why you see a lot of those bodybuilders, when they stop training,
So with I guess tonight supposed to be specializing in the women's side. A woman taking your class as opposed to a man, and they both come to you with the same type question. How do you?
I already got you. Women need to lift weights and quit being scared of thinking they're going to look like a man. They're not. They need it for bone density, and again, muscle burns fat. Men are the opposite. They need to do more cardio.
Okay.
Cardio
I
hurt.
know.
That cardio hurt.
No,
That cardio can't breathe.
no.
You be tired.
Because guess
dog.
what? While you're lifting weights, Let's say if you like to jump rope. That go back to what I said about that HIIT workout. Hit those biceps, take that jump rope, start jumping. Then go hit that next circuit of the weights. But some cardio needs to be in there. Or lift the weights, get on the treadmill like he just said, even if it's just for 10 minutes after those weights, you will see a huge difference. Because what's happened is you've taken the muscle, you've built it up, then you let that glycogen get on that treadmill, it's gonna burn it down.
So I usually do the reverse. I use the
And I
treadmill.
do too.
yeah,
I like
most of them,
both. It depends on my time,
Yeah.
but there's nothing better than lifting weights and then doing that cardio. I'm telling you.
I did a cardio and treadmill first, then I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to weights.
Most of
Then I
us,
made-
most of us were trained. I guess I know me when I first got into this. We was taught to do the cardio first and then go lift.
And I'm not, and so I won't, because I don't want anyone to be confused. All of them work.
Right.
It depends on your goal. So for me, I will go in and do maybe a 10-minute warm up of cardio, but then I'm gonna go ahead and hit them weights. Then I'm gonna end back with cardio. And again, y'all, cardio doesn't mean treadmill, elliptical. I might go into the group fitness room and I box. I love boxing. One of the best ways to get your waist slim, ladies, if you want that snatch waist, box. It's twisting.
Movement, like you said, you moving.
Mobile. We are stuck in what we think cardio is.
Yes.
It's the problem. It's not treadmills. It is heart rate going up. True T, you can lift weights and make it cardio. It's the syncopation, this pace, it's how much recovery you take in between.
Right.
And I know we're throwing a lot, but I'm just trying to get different things out there. So hopefully somebody will get something from this to just move their body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ages. With women, I say after about 38, body's changing. What are some things that they need to start doing? Because I know you was talking about what you did leading up to your premenopause, because about that age is premenopausal. What are the things that they can be doing so that once they get into that menopausal state where they don't feel like, might not feel like doing anything, but even when you're going through their lows, your body has already been conditioned to do these certain things that can possibly help you through your menopause. What are things that they can start doing? These younger ladies that's past 35 that ain't having no more kids and they want to start doing these type things, and the busy ladies who gotta work 8 hours, then come home and take care of the family and da 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 da. What are things that they can do throughout their day to help change these things?
So first I would say, again, it goes back, we need to start movement, but I'm gonna be very honest, like I said before, once we hit that perimenopause stage, especially depending on where you're at, even when you're working out, if your nutrition does not change, someone in perimenopause, I know y'all don't want to hear it, has to eat differently than someone that's not. I'm really trying to make this clear because, again, they become more insulin resistant. I don't care what your numbers say on your blood work. Your hormones and that insulin resistance are playing a double edge. That doesn't mean don't move, still move, but we got to make some tweaks on nutrition. We got to cut back. I don't drink coffee, but the ones that do, if you put more sugar than the coffee, that's your weight. And I'm gonna tell you one little thing that I had noticed. I love protein bars, but I had started reading the back of my protein bars. Some of them had like 28 grams of sugar. I had defeated the purpose. So what I did was I switched to more keto bars. I don't do keto, but I eat a lot of keto type foods, if that makes sense. And trust me, only the ones that taste good, because it does have to taste good. But nutrition does matter. Those things have to come into play. But first, they do have to start moving their body. but definitely making changes on that sugar and stuff. I do want to say, we can't make excuses about being busy. Are you gonna be busy when you're laying over, and I hate to be mean, on the side of the road? Because you could have prevented that. If you're not too busy to take that hand to the mouth, we're not too busy to work out. I tell them in class, when they don't show up when it rains, you don't eat in the rain. You can work out in the rain. And I don't think nobody, I'm just gonna be busier than me. I literally work full-time in public health research at Center for Family Research at UGA. Full-time. Still teach 5:30 a.m. classes. On top of that, still do my own, anybody watching will tell you, still do my own workouts. Not just the teaching, I don't count that as my workout, that's a plus. Sing at church. I mean, the list goes on.
Speaking of singing,
Whatever. But
Lord,
my self-care, my life
Right.
matters to me, so it's a priority. I schedule it in.
I got a question for you. What's your take on all these products that says 0 sugar? And the reason why I'm asking you that is because I am a diabetic.
Okay.
And
That's the question.
I partake in a lot of 0 sugar, maybe it be sodas or some types of food, or even using Splenda. What is your take on that? And because you was just talking about what's the point of putting sugar in your coffee, but I know it says Splenda, but I really don't know exactly what all that's into it. So what is your take? What's your take?
No. Ragonda, before you answer that question, let's take a break, because I want to get into that, the 0 sugars, the
Right.
different, the sugar substitute things,
Right.
and with you being in health, kind of explain that. And so we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna dive into the whole nutrition, and I also want to get into the mental,
That's what I
the
definitely
mental side of getting healthy. So we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna get more into it, because we got Miss Ragonda Menefield, Body by G, who's in the building. And like I say, once we get back, we're gonna let her explain the nutritional, and then we're gonna also tap into the mental health side of nutrition. But y'all stay tuned. We will be right back.
Wing King. Wing King food truck coming to a town near
like
you.
overwhelming.
Follow us on Facebook,
That's how I'm not
IG, TikTok.
overwhelming yet.
It's love at first
But
sight.
I'm really passionate about it.
For your next party, shop Hall Family Party Rentals for inflatables that can be used wet or dry, starting as low as $150. They also offer cotton candy and popcorn machine rentals. For more information, contact Quinn Eccles at 706-351-7276. Again, shop Hall Family Party Rental, or contact Quinn Eccles at 706-351-7276.